No, he picked against the Cowboys. He can't be feeling good.
Come on.
You picked against them.
Come on. Say it with me. How about them Cowboys?
You picked against them.
We are back, baby. 8-4 and in control of the NFC least.
Did you not pick against them?
No, I didn't. I changed my pick. No, I did not. In mid-show, what did we hear? Kamara was out, and I said, if Kamara's out, I'm swapping back. I'm going with the Cowboys. Did I not do that? Did we not redo our picks?
Kamara could have been in.
So don't lie to the American public about it.
You picked it.
I picked the Dallas Cowboys to win.
They still bums.
23-20. Yep. Bums, and in first place. We're first place bums. Yeah. I will give you that.
Okay, now we agree on something. This is probably the last time we're going to agree this show.
Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressive were the Cowboys?
I gave them a 3 because I think they beat a very bad team. And we've seen this over the last several weeks, Skip. This team is getting worse and worse. And Sean Payton tried to insert Taysom Hill. And I told you, Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. Anybody that thinks Taysom Hill is going to take this team anywhere at the quarterback position, they're fooling themselves. Sean Payton is fooling himself. Sean Payton, as great a mind as he has at designing plays, he cannot create what needs to be created with Taysom Hill. First of all, he's too muscle-bound. Second of all, that three-quarter throwing motion, it's not going to work in the NFL. And he doesn't throw people open. They have to get open. Sean Payton has to design the perfect play where guys get picked off and you get the guy Humphrey, Lil John Humphrey, running wide. Lil Jordan Humphrey running wide open. Guys have to create it. As far as him throwing the ball into a tight window or throwing with anticipation, getting guys open, that's not what he is. Now, we saw him injure that finger. It seemed like he had a very similar injury to one Russell Wilson suffered against the Rams. Now, if you notice, Pete Carroll took Russell Wilson out of the game. I don't think anybody that watched that game at home thought Taysom Hill is comparable to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had that injury, missed, 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, came back and hasn't looked the same.
Well, he had surgery on it.
Thank you.
He had a torn tendon in his finger of his throwing hand.
Have he looked the same since he's been back?
No, he has not.
So we're going to leave Taysom Hill, who's a jack, really trying to masquerade as a quarterback, look like the same injury, but you're going to leave him in and says, okay, he can do it. Did you see the ball tailing away? As a matter of fact, we got some tape. Hey, let's get that tape. Let's get the tape out. This is it. This is the... Skip, what is that? That's Taysom Hill. And now you wanted me to give your guys a good grade here. Look at this. What did he... Really? Trayvon Diggs won't get an easy interception. Look at this. Now, you do realize the guys in the blue shirt, they're your enemies. You don't throw the ball to them. But that's what he did. Hey, here you go. Come on. I'm gonna give you... What is that? What is that? That's awful. That was awful last night. And so for me, that's why I gave him a bad score, Skip. They played against a very he's a great all-around player, but he shouldn't try to play quarterback. And offensively, Skip, as Alec AC said in the read, they had a very up-and-down performance. I thought Dak Dak was throwing the ball well. Guys made great catches, but the shot that he hit CD over the middle, Skip, as soon as CD head got around, the ball was stuck to his chest. The one he hit Amari over the middle that Amari they got up out of there. He hit 2 to Michael Gallup. Now, I'm going to say Michael Gallup made some great catches because Dak put the ball with, but those were throws that they were the only place they could be thrown where Michael Gallup could catch it, get his feet down. But then all of a sudden, something happened. It's just like Dak started spraying the ball all over in that interception. So, and they didn't run the ball. They had the one big run by Tony Pollard, Skip. He broke away. But other than that, Skip, you talk about, and you love to do it, you tell me this all the time. Well, if you average it up, they had 23 carries for like 90 yards. That's really not good. But look, I'm gonna say this. They won the ball game. I think now they have a 2.5, 3-game lead in that division, which we thought they would do. But I wasn't impressive. Defense took advantage of a bad quarterback playing last night. Got 4 interceptions, 3 on 3 consecutive possessions, and a pick 6. So give those guys credit. They did what they needed to do on a Thursday night. But that wasn't an outstanding performance by me. If I look at it, it was not.
Okay, it is my turn. And I always tell you, if not warn you, I am an objective Cowboy fan. I know that can be an oxymoron for some people, but I'm often a harshly objective Cowboy fan because I thought so much much of my football team going into this year.
Okay.
I told you 12-5. At one point, when they got to 6-1, I said, hey, I'm looking at 13-4.
Right.
So I'm going to judge them on that kind of curve from what I saw last night. So scale of 1 to 10 for me last night. How impressed was I with what I saw in the end? I am a 2. I am below you. You are a 3. I am only a 2.
I'm surprised.
But my biggest takeaway from last night, which I opened the show with, was all I care about in the end. They won that game.
They did.
By hook or crook, by however you want to explain it or explain it away.
Okay.
However you want to disqualify it, you can disqualify away, but you can't disqualify 8-4.
Right.
So all I know is they took care of business.
Right.
Not impressively, but the scoreboard in the end said 27 for Dallas and 17 for the home team.
Correct.
And as many debacles, disasters as we have suffered in that building before, once upon a time when our man, what's his name? Rob Ryan was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Remember when Drew Brees broke the completion record?
Oh, yeah, they had like 40 first downs in that game.
It was just terrible.
Yeah,
like that. That's how humiliated I've been watching my team play in that building.
Right.
27-17 after the last time we saw Dak when he lost 12-10 to Teddy Bridgewater. I will take it.
Have you lost that game last night, Skip, you'd have jumped off the bench. If they had lost as bad as New Orleans was playing, if you lose that game to them, you'd have been done with the Cowboys for this year.
What did you say? I would have jumped out of what?
You'd have jumped off the bandwagon.
I was going to say I would have jumped out the window, and I'm on the 3rd floor. So I would have jumped out the window.
You might have broken something, so don't do that. Walk downstairs and yell.
That is correct. Okay, what did I see last night? Big picture. As soon as I heard just before the game, for sure, that number one, Alvin Kamara out.
Yeah.
He is the best dual-purpose back in the league. He's made the Pro Bowl all 4 of his years.
Yeah.
If you take him away from Taysom Hill is going to have a long night to start with. Both tackles, right at game time, are ruled out. They had played in the previous game, and Teron Armstead has made 3 straight Pro Bowls, and Ramczyk on the other side made first-team All-Pro in 2019, and both the tackles are ruled out.
Yes.
Obviously, Michael Thomas hasn't played all year, so that's a huge playmaker you're missing from the receiving core, right?
Yes.
So help me out here. Given the degree of difficulty against that offense, shouldn't you win that game?
Yeah, absolutely.
You should. Like it's just a duh to me. It's just like you have to, if you're any good at all, if you're even worthy of winning the NFC least, you have to win that game last night.
Right.
So how did they win it? Well, guess what my team was? My team's been pretty good on 3rd down through the year, right?
Yes.
My team, if you throw in the 1 miss on 4th down, was 2 of 14 on 3rd and 4th down. That is horrendously bad.
They were bad.
2 of 14. Are you kidding me? And then we get back to run or pass, run or pass. What happened last night? Well, they had to pass, crazy pass, because they couldn't really run a lick.
They couldn't.
Because if you look hard at what happened last night, Tony Pollard got loose, as he is highly capable of getting loose. And he's got a gear. It's like most cars are like 5 speeds. He's got a 6 speed, right?
Yeah.
If he gets going, we just saw him, obviously, on Thanksgiving go 100 yards with the kickoff. He went 58 yards last night, and then a backward pass to CD, he goes for 33 yards, because he can really run it after catch.
So that's 91 on 2 of your carries.
91 on 2 carries. That left 22 other carries for a grand total of 55 yards. That's 2.5 per try.
Yeah.
So I had to sit last night and watch 22 tries of running the football that averaged 2.5 yards per carry. That's a lot of carries. 22 carries for 2.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
It's hard to stomach. It's harder to watch. It makes my head hurt. It makes my heart hurt. It scares me going forward that all of a sudden they used to be number 2 in the league for the first 7 games. They were number 2 in the league in rushing. They have now plummeted to 7th in the league in rushing. Right. And by the way,
which isn't bad, but it's not what they were.
It's why I had to watch 7 punts last night. That's a lot of punting to do. 7 times they could not sustain and score.
Right.
Well, what am I supposed to do with that? And took a pick 6 late by my defensive tackle, by Carlos Watkins on the play you just showed, where it looked like he was the primary receiver. I don't
You think I ain't gonna play, Skip? I mean, there are a lot of guys, the ball's gonna carry him to the ground. But the guy's point blank and he throws it, he jumps up and snags it out of the air like he was a tight end.
It was good.
He was.
And he rumbled.
He did.
And he stumbled and he mumbled and he scored.
He did.
And that was it, man. That sort of capped it off. And yet it still kind of came down to a late onside kick, because it looked like the Saints after they broke a 70-yarder on us, we still give up too many big plays. We gave up an early big play, and then a late big play for touchdowns, like big, long, here we go, home run kind of plays, right? Okay, so what did I see from Taysom Hill? Well, obviously, to a fault, that man on the other sideline, Sean Payton, for whom I have high regard, and so do you, he loves this man to a fault.
Yes.
He believes heart and soul that Taysom Hill is a starting quarterback in this league. He just gave him a deal with heavily incentive-laden at the end, but it's $40 million going up to $90 million because he sees him as his future. And, again, we saw 4 starts from him last year. And he completed 72% of his passes. That's hard to do. That's up there in that Mac Jones territory, right?
Yes.
4 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. You didn't like what you saw, but he subsidizes himself. He helps by he can run it.
Now you're talking.
Okay, what did he do last night? He went 11 times for 101 yards.
Yes.
He alone had 100 yards. Okay, 101 yards. That's pretty great, right? And in the fourth quarter, when he got cooking, he was pretty hard to bring down. And he can leap buildings in a single bound. Okay, so he ended up throwing for 264 yards, which is not horrible. But the problem is he completed 19 of 41. Well, that's way under 50%, which is just horrible.
That's hard in today's game.
In the first quarter, he follows through. He smashes his hand on a defensive lineman's
Looked like Dorrance Armstrong,
I think it was Dorrance Armstrong, and he smashed it. And you could see on the sideline, it's the droopy finger. I'm just going to guess. I'm not a doctor, but I've been through a lot of this stuff. I had it done to my left hand when I was in high school. I still have a droopy finger on my left side. But the point is that it looked like the ligament got torn. It's your throwing hand. He goes in the tent. They end up putting a splint on it, and he's still in the game all the way to the bitter end. He's still throwing or trying to throw footballs. What are you doing, Sean Payton? You want to talk about stubborn to a fault? You want to
pride, Skip.
Pride goeth before the fall, as the Bible says. It went before the fall because they just kept falling and failing and falling and failing. Why didn't you go to Trevor Siemian? He's okay. He's not great, but he's decent.
But here's the thing, Skip. We saw the Carolina Panthers. Cam threw picks, and what did they do? They took him out.
Well, you have to.
Bro, we got to get you up out of here.
Okay, but that's just on pure performance. He was healthy.
This
guy's not healthy.
He's hurt, and his performance is bad.
It's horrendously bad. By halftime, Sean should have said, you know what? If I'm going to have any shot at winning this game, what did Trevor Siemian do against the GOAT, against Tom Brady? He replaced Jameis, and he won the football game. He's serviceable. He is trustable in that he knows the offense because he's been there for 2 years. He'll be okay. He'll be better than this was.
Yes, absolutely.
This got so bad that just as they started to roll on offense, in the fourth quarter alone, he threw the 3 picks. Could we just see him again? These are all in the fourth quarter.
They're horrible picks, though.
Yeah, this is 6:32 left is the first one in the game. You're getting back in the football game, and you want to talk about taking the life out of you? Okay, that ball gets tipped because Jordan Lewis got in on a blitz, and he's always making plays. And then here's the one, Diggs. That's just horrible. But Diggs made a nice play. He always makes a nice play. And then this is the capper. This is the one where if I'm on the New Orleans sideline, I just drop my head into my hands and say, Coach, what are you doing? What are we doing? Do you want to lose the game?
Especially as a defensive player, because I played my tail off. They got one big play on me, and we've only given up 20 points, and we're right here in the ball game. And you allow this to keep happening. It's INT after INT after INT, after skip pass, after bounce pass. And Sean, bruh, we trust you, but come on now. You see what we see. Everybody can see this. Skip, and I keep telling you, Skip, he's a pocket knife, and you're trying to eat soup with him. He's not a quarterback.
I would like to have seen how he would have done last night completely healthy if he doesn't get his finger busted. Because when you got a splint on the middle finger of your throwing hand, it's hard to throw a football. It's hard to throw a spiral.
But, Skip, here's the thing. His problem is that he doesn't throw people open. And with that three-quarter angle.
All right. So we benefited hugely from that. You did. Now to my quarterback. He perplexes me. He troubles me. He scares me. I love him, and then I try to love him all the way, and he won't let me because his QBR last night, scale 0 to 100, was just a 38, and that's what he is. Taysom had a 28, which was propped up by the fact that he ran for 100 yards. my quarterback, just when you want to just all in, embrace him. And it was off that one lightning strike on the first touchdown drive.
Yeah.
I got to see what I thought I was going to see all year long in the preseason.
Or at least for that game, Skip, because he started off with he was dealing.
But how about the one where we go 3 straight passes?
Yeah.
If we could see, and Amari only played 24 plays because he's still suffering the after effects of COVID. But okay. It's a great throw.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a nice snatch and run. And then this is a backward pass CD, and he can flat out run
that's
after
the punt
catch.
returner. That's the punt returner doing that.
That's what you want. And he's so physical, and he's hard to get on the ground. And then this is the fade to Gallup, and this is the catch of the year by a Dallas Cowboy.
That was unbelievable.
It's an unbelievable catch.
Because he catches it pirouettes and get both feet down.
On display for you, Amari, CD, Gallup. It's what I thought I had going into the year, and I only saw glimpses of it in game number 1 at GOAT on the opening Thursday night, and then Gallup hurt his calf.
Correct.
And then all of them have had COVID or concussion or something.
Right.
That was the first time all year that I saw triple lightning strike where that's the one where you sit back and say, that's got a chance to be pretty good, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then later in the game, we saw a Dak interception, and he was a little hit and miss all night. If we could see the later Dak interception, I just don't know. Sometimes I just say, I don't know what you see. He's forcing it to CD, who's just not open, and there's nobody there. It's not going to work. He's doubled. He's inside out.
What does he see?
I don't know.
We're looking at it from the angle that Dak sees. Yeah. How do you think he's going to get that over there?
Well, I see a white jersey before I see a blue jersey, right?
I can see, Skip, if you're going to throw it, you can't throw it over the top because you got the safety of P.J. Williams in the hole.
Okay. So this brings me to the man I told you all week, this week, is the one hope I have to actually win 1 or more playoff games. And he wears number 11, and he is from heaven for my defense. His name is Micah Parsons.
Yes.
And yet I was out of my mind all night long because we had Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, down on the sideline, cap on backward.
Right.
Screaming and yelling and hugging and kissing everybody, which is fine. Love the energy of it. But strategically, I don't know if it's his choice or McCarthy's choice or Jerry's choice or Steven's choice. I don't know who decides, but they decided last night that Micah Parsons was, A, going to spy Taysom Hill and just stand in the middle of the defense and just wait to see if he goes right or left.
Right.
Or play pass defense.
Right.
Like quarters coverage. Right? Mm-hmm. So the first interception of the game, if we could see this, it's late in the first half. Mm-hmm. Guess who breaks up this pass way downfield to Kenny Stills? Guess who this is? Oh, it's Micah Parsons. He's completely down to the goal line. And the ball gets tipped because he broke it up, right?
Yes.
And Curse snags it and keeps his feet in bounds. It was a big play because it saved some.
It looked like he was going to get some points.
Yeah, 3 anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but that Brett the Fred, that was your guy.
No, he was. That's what I nicknamed him. Okay. Micah Parsons is running toward the goal line when we have seen again and again.
You're running toward the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what he does best.
Right.
He rushes the passer. He might have rushed 10% of the snaps. And if we could see the one sack that he made, I'm pretty sure he was spying Taysom, and Taysom tried to roll right, and Micah just attacked him. And just said, I got you.
Well, but Skip, I had talked about, he's the type of guy that you can't run the fake to his side because more times than not, he's going to be coming, and he doesn't have the responsibility, so you're his responsibility. He's going to get you.
He's going to get you because you want to talk about closing speed for a big man?
You see how fast he closed. But, Skip, here's the problem that you're having, and I told you can have too much of a good thing.
Yep.
D-Law came back. Now, okay, D-Law, what happens when you get Gregory and Basham? So somebody can't play. Now, I'm not going to be surprised if they don't move somebody in the offseason to give Parsons more of an opportunity to stay on the field full time, and he might be better served, Skip, if you play him like an elephant, like you did Charles Haley. Say, son, just put your hand in the dirt and just rush to go get the quarterback.
Okay, when Charles was in San Francisco, they played him a little more like you saw Micah last night. When he got to Dallas, he was a pure pass rusher. Even if he stood up on the edge, he was going to rush the passer. But Charles, by the time he got to Dynasty Dallas days, starting in 92,
he was a straight pass rusher.
Hand in the dirt.
Yeah.
This kid looks like a pass rusher.
Yeah, he is.
He looks like Von Miller. He's a little taller than Von.
Yeah.
But he's got that bendability, right?
Yes,
He's got that rare raw strength where you can't sort of figure it out. You can't you can't practice for it because it just comes at you.
He's just an athlete, Skip.
Yeah.
But can I ask you a question? And I know we talked about you guys, you couldn't do anything, and you talked about you had 2 carries for 91 yards. Outside of that, you had 55. But doesn't Zeke look hurt to you?
Well,
Skip, you saw him hobbling, Skip.
He looks hurt or washed. Help me out. One or the other or both.
Well, if he washed and he's limping like that, well, he needs to go sit down. At some point in time, Skip, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to be okay, you got to tell him, say, man, I'm hurting. I ain't got it. Skip, I mean, Zeke is a run-to-contact guy. You saw Zeke turn the blink on last night and run out of bounds on several occasions.
Well, on the first time he got the edge because nobody was left home. This is in the fourth quarter. He got 10 yards, but he just ran out of bounds. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you don't want to turn it up and fight? You don't want to.
Skip, and I've been in Zeke's situation.
Yep.
Skip, when you're hurt, I'm not trying to take no shots. I'm not trying to turn back and get no extra yard, not an extra 5 yards. I'm trying to get out of bounds because I look like he got something lower, knee, ankle, something. And that's the last thing.
He's got a bruised knee. Not a hurt knee, but not a ligament
and
damage.
I'm definitely not. First of all, Skip, you can't turn up on it. You can't plan on your legs like you want to because of the injury. And I'm definitely not trying to take no shot on my legs after I'm injured. But Skip, he doesn't look. And I've said this, Skip. I don't think he'll ever be what he once was. But that was a far cry, Skip. That was embarrassing last night. The way he looked out there, he was hobbling.
It was shadow of self. It was sad and hard to watch.
Skip, you got a 3-game lead. Can you sit him down for 2 weeks now and let him get somewhat healthy?
Obviously. Which brings me to the play of the night for my Dallas Cowboys. It features one jersey less than Zeke. It goes from 21 down to 20.
Yeah.
And if we could see Tony Pollard escape and fly, this is spectacular because he doesn't look like he's going that fast. And Marcus Williams thinks, I'm not going to let him cut inside. I'm not going to let him. And then all of a sudden he misjudges because he hits 8th gear and he's just gone, just like he went 100 yards for the touchdown.
DeMario Davis took the wrong angle.
Yep.
He tried to backdoor Ty Smith, and he's got to go over the top of this.
Yep.
And once I saw him go underneath, Skip, watch DeMario Davis 56. See what he does? And once he did that, it's over. You got to go over the top and force it back inside because you can't let him get to the hole. Okay. They caught him in the perfect.
I'm going to tell you again. Tony Pollard doesn't weigh 190. He weighs 210, so he's not a small back. He's a middle-sized back with rare deep speed, breakaway speed.
Yeah.
He's the most underutilized, to me, weapon in the whole league. For the first 8 weeks of the season, your favorite website, Pro Football Focus, graded him the #1 running back in pro football. Right. But his carries were so low, he doesn't really even qualify in anybody's head, right?
Yes.
Well, I need to see more of him. Even if he's going to bang away and get stuck for 0 and 1 and 2, at least I know he's got that in him. Zeke doesn't have that in him anymore.
Right.
He did as a rookie, but he doesn't have it anymore.
But, Skip, your offensive line is not the same. They don't move people off the line of scrimmage like they once did.
They're not winning.
No. They seem to become better pass blockers than run blockers because they used to push people, dominate the line of scrimmage.
I agree.
You remember when Zeke first contact was like 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage? Yep. Now Zeke and Tony Pollard, even last night, was getting contacted in the backfield.
They were. I give you all the above, but you're going to have to live with the fact my team is 8-4, and you bet 10 cases against my team to win the division.
Well, we'll see after Monday.
You are in serious trouble now.
We'll see after Monday, see what Washington does with the Raiders and see if Philly
I don't even care anymore because I think I got this.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.